and welcome back to the Only Fans. It's a Power Project segment where we talk about sport and nothing but sport. We're back again with your hosts, Captain and myself. And then we have not too many things in the Premier League to discuss this week, but we have a lot of other interesting things to talk about. Yes, and then that's where we're going to dive straight into the FA Cup.
Haji Wright has the chance for 3-3.
FA Cup. Okay, which game do you want to start with? Because I want
to talk about the biggest game that was over there, the most exciting game, and ironically, it's not the City game.
Yeah. yeah. Same. Hey, then we want to talk about Coventry 3, Man United 3, but Man United win 4-2 on penalties.
Can't lie, I wasn't watching the game. I wasn't watching the game. When I saw the score was 3-0 to United, I was like, you know what? It's over.
Yeah, same. But like, how do you go 3-0 up, right? 3-0 up against Coventry, and I can still somehow make it 3-3.
Where are Coventry even? They are 8th in the championship. Coventry.
I mean, that's not bad. But
not bad, but not good.
Yeah.
But they're like 30 points off the top.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Right. So I watched this game, right? And to be honest, right until they scored, right? I really just felt like Man United was just in control, was basically, a European club taking on a championship club, so what you expect to have happen, right? So then Man United rising until they scored Coventry, so they were really in control of this game, right? But they have to ask questions. But they have to ask questions now, right? That is this embarrassment for Man United. Don't forget that they had a goal disallowed in the 98th minute. That if there wasn't any VAR, that goal would have stood and Man United would have been out of the FA Cup. Right? So how big of an embarrassment would you think this is really?
Don't forget, they also had a goal disallowed. I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about, but they had a goal disallowed in the 121st minute as well.
Oh, yeah.
Was it that one?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's bad. It's really, really bad. The thing now, it's not like championship teams can't do it. We have seen Wigan beat City. When Wigan were in the championship, they beat City in the FA Cup final a couple of years back, 3-2. Yeah. So it's not like it's a surprise thing, but in my opinion, the way Ten Hag keeps on saying that he's dealing with the games, and every single game he says we outplayed the opponent or we were the better team on the day. Honestly, even Roy Keane, I don't know if you saw what Roy Keane said, but he's starting to hate the team now. He's starting to dislike his own team because of poor team management, poor man management, bad attitudes, and you can see it carrying over. Like me, I told you I don't rate Bruno as a captain, but he's like one of the only players that wants to win. Like you see him there, he has he's a crybaby, but he's a really good midfielder, and he has one of the best work rates in the team. He's literally like Bernardo Silva but taller. Bernardo Silva is the same. He's also a crybaby, but he's an incredible midfielder and he has an incredible work rate, just like Bruno. And the other players don't seem to reciprocate it. Like Højlund, he does, because he's new, he's fresh, he's a
young. So all of the Maguires, the Casemiros.
Not even Casemiro. Casemiro lately has been, in my opinion, he's been looking like he's enjoying life in England, where enjoying life in the wrong sense. He's living the luxury rather than playing the football. He's like, For me, I feel like in that man of the match, one of the players would be like Dalot, because every time I was watching, I saw something. He was doing something defensive,
Yeah.
but it wasn't your Ashwords, it wasn't Wan-Bissaka, it wasn't Cassie, it wasn't the big money signings.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
So Onana made good saves, but the goals that he conceded, you should be saving those. Okay, the deflection one, that's you can't do it. You can't. It was out of his hands. Any keeper wouldn't have saved it unless they have Neuer's instincts. I can't even say Neuer unless they had Casillas' instincts. But like some of the other two goals, you should be saving that. It's like watching Karius in the Champions League final. You should be saving those.
Wow. Yeah, because like what is the funny thing about this is that so we like to bash on the United, right? But at the end of the day, this is Ten Hag's third cup final. I think one was the EFL Cup, last year's FA Cup, this year's FA Cup, right? And like yet every single yet you can't really say that so there is any progression. That like, you can't really say that Man United have really like improved from.
It's like they're being kept.
Yeah. So we always talk about Man United need a restructuring. They need to bring in new people in. What. I heard that the new owner is like doing that, but I really think that they really need to get rid of this Ten Hag guy because because if he was my manager, right, then he comes out to be saying that we control the game, bro, like you were literally 3-0 up to Coventry City. There's no disrespect to them, but you were 3-0 up and you could have lost the game. That is crazy for a club of the United style right there. Yeah, so that's what I think.
And it also goes to show that if you don't, they've been talking about these problems over and over. They keep saying, it's the Glazers' fault. Then they don't want to. I know a lot of fans that don't want to address the fact that maybe it's not just the Glazers' fault. Maybe it's also the players' attitudes. Because you can't go and keep on getting a new manager all the time and then keep blaming the manager when the players don't want to get up and start doing something. So like Ten Hag is a good manager. I would obviously, as opposition fans, we're gonna troll him, but like, truth be told, he is a good manager and he's dealing with a lot. Mourinho came there, he dealt with a lot. Solskjaer came there, he dealt with a lot, and it's mostly the players. And every time you see them, the players always drive the manager out and say, "You know what? It's not our fault; it's the owner's fault." The players nowadays, I think. I don't like agreeing with Roy Keane because sometimes his takes are very biased, but when it comes to this thing, you have to agree with him and you say, you know what, it's not always the owner's fault. You can't always put the blame game on somebody else. The players need to look and think, you know what, maybe it is our fault. Because City, Cancelo had the same attitude that some of the United players had. What happened to him?
They
just tossed him out at the same time.
Yeah, they just tossed him out. And you want to think about the United thing that they were saying that they need a rebuild, so they need to restructure stuff like that. But they have the same players that have been here since those Mourinho days. Like you have Luke Shaw, you have Rashford, you have Martial, though he's leaving, or right because I think that the core players, right, like those players that have been there for like a while. Those are the players that you need to really ship off, right? If they want to bring in a new culture, new mentality, right? Take in for instance, Arsenal, right? So I can tell you now, right? So that first team that Mikel Arteta had when like he first came in, none of them survived. Like except for Saka, like Emil Smith Rowe, right? None of those guys have survived, and like till like right now. So I think that they really need to do a serious say like what Rashford, so like you've been a good servant of the club, Luke Shaw, so like you've been a good servant of the club, but as it is right now, we really want to do a whole structure, and they need to get rid of these guys. That's what I think is what happened.
In that same note, every time they do a rebuild, not to say every time they just say we want a rebuild and they don't do it, they do rebuilds. But the players that come in end up on the bench.
Yeah, like
you can't blame Martinez, he's been injured.
But
every other centre back they've had, every other fullback they've had, I think about it now. Where's Malacia?
Yeah, bro, where is that guy? Bro, where is that guy? Man? That's crazy.
Exactly, like
that's crazy.
I don't think he's injured. If he's injured, then yes, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
That's you can't do anything about that. But every time they do a signing, they make a signing. Sorry, not do a signing. Every time they make a signing, they either expect too much from them. Like, I mean, Anthony, they expected him to be
Neymar, Ronaldo coming in.
Beat him, and how were they glazing Anthony when he first came?
Bro.
They either put too much of expectations on them. Or they don't give them enough time. They just a few bad games, and then just like move on.
Yeah. Then I am like not sure you saw that you saw this, right? But when Højlund scored, right? I think he scored the winning penalty. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then he went to go celebrate with the fans, right? Literally, none of his teammates came to come and celebrate with him. Right?
I don't know what
then I found that
Eriksen.
It's like. Then I found that very funny, right? Then you want to also I found very funny, right? Yeah. Like that. I think when he scored, what's the guy's name? Yeah.
Cupping ears in front.
Cupping his ears like an idiot.
Man, this is not a Champions League final. Coventry was a better team in that second half. They were the better team in extra time. United were the better team in the first half up until Coventry scored the first goal. Because Coventry twice and they had a goal disallowed.
Man, must have some shame. And the Cavs have some shame.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is finally a chance for Anthony to win something other than an EFL Cup. Maybe that's why he's excited. But the first person, Maguire. That's why I say Maguire. Maybe not good. Maybe he isn't a good player, but he's a better captain because the first person to go and shake the Coventry players' hands to congratulate them was Maguire.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because he knew them what they did, and out of respect for the fact that they came from 3-0 down, he went to shake their hands. And then Anthony, when cupping his ears in front of them, like...
Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Right.
Yeah, I feel like there's also players that need to, as you said, they need a rebuild, but I feel like some of the players they brought in already needs to leave. I think Martin is good. I'll troll him a lot because of what Salah did to him, but he is a good defender. He should stay. Bruno, obviously, if United let go of Bruno, it's the same thing as letting go of De Gea. It'll be very stupid. So there's very few players I can say they can stay. Shaw needs to go because he's too injury prone. He may be good, but he's too injury prone. You can't have a player that sits there for, just comes and plays like 4 games a season and then injured the rest. Like Thiago. I love Thiago as a player. I've watched him at Bayern. I've even watched him a few games when he was at Barca, but he's not fit for us, so he needs to leave. So a lot of those players also, United, if they too injury prone, apart from Martinez, who's only been here for 2 seasons, the other players has been here for like 6 to 8 years, and they still.
I'm not sure.
What is
the name? So those like McTominay's, like your Martials, all those guys, man. But alright, so like enough about Man United. Let's move to like the blue half of Manchester, where Man City beat Chelsea 1-0.
In my opinion, City got lucky that Nicholas Jackson is a Chelsea striker. Bro, Nicholas Jackson.
Bro, oh man. So you want you want to know what I think, right? You know, I really think it's a social experiment. Just like to see like how can we convince people to think that this is a real football player, right? Though like I'm not gonna bash him, you know, and like say like, oh then like he's been trashed, blah, blah, blah. But in this game, right, some of the decisions, some of the shooting, some of
you know what they did?
What?
They combined their last three strikers. They took the first touch from Lukaku, they took the offsides from Morata, and they took the missing from Werner.
Bro,
Mixed it up.
They're putting all in one. Bro, man, oh my god, man, that was so fun. Then did you see the
penalty shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a penalty?
In my opinion, his arm was like this. The ball got caught between there and there. If it was like this and the ball got caught on the top, then I wouldn't say it's a penalty. But the fact that it was caught underneath his arm, it's a tough one.
Yeah. I like what you're saying, because I also think, right, that what should call it, that there should have been a penalty. The common knowledge says that if your arm is outstretched from your body and it's not in a natural position, right? So if he was, like jumping, right? Okay, they could say that. He was in his hand for leverage, but he was in the wall, so there was no reason for your arm to be outstretched. I just want to block something. So I think that should have been a penalty, but you can't go back and change time now, right? Yeah.
It's unfortunate because I'm pretty sure there was a penalty in the league that was given for the exact same thing.
Yeah, man.
They're literally the exact same thing on the same day. Penalty was given. So the inconsistency in England is a bit, it's getting a bit annoying. I mean, it's annoying. As a Liverpool fan, it's been annoying the whole season. I've seen things. I've seen a lot of inconsistency with VAR, especially. So now, the fact that it's happening to other teams, and other teams are complaining about it now, it's just going to prove my point. You know what? VAR have been, like, a lot of teams have been suffering with decisions against them. But I feel like, as a Liverpool fan, with a lot of decisions I've seen this season, like, for example, the Doku's bro kick on McAllister, the basketball.
Man, that's funny. Man, that's funny.
Luis Diaz's onside.
Man, that's funny. That's funny.
I was watching the Premier League, but I was watching every other sport in the Premier League apart from football. I was watching basketball, I was watching WWE, I was watching MMA, I was watching lacrosse, I was watching
lacrosse. Wow.
Volleyball. I was watching things. The Premier League has been anything but football this season because of that VAR. But now the fact that other teams are there, they are suffering, then yeah. It's safe to say now it's going to be a big change next season.
Like, did you hear what Pep said after the game? Right? Pep said, and I quote, "It's unacceptable to play today. It is unacceptable for the health of the players. It is unacceptable. It's not normal for the health of the players. After 120 minutes versus Real, it is unacceptable. I don't know how we survive today. Like, nothing is going to change. Why nothing? Why not I mean, why today? Like not tomorrow. So when the Chelsea, Man United, and a Coventry don't play midweek, tell me why. Like explain to me, like what you think, because I think it's complaining that
About
they
the
had.
the thing is, every manager has been complaining in the Premier League about tight schedule. Only and especially for managers that are in all 4 competitions, like Klopp. Klopp has been complaining about it for a while because I think Liverpool are the teams. If I'm not mistaken, Liverpool is the team since Klopp has come in with the most early games. We always get the 12:30 games, and because of that, Klopp has been complaining about it. And then as of late, Arteta, Eddie Howe, Eddie Howe, whoever Newcastle had, even before Eddie Howe, Guardiola, if I'm not mistaken, was it David Moyes as well? Did complain about the structure of the games, and it's been heavily congested. The thing is, we do get games where I think they just need better management, because they do have sometimes when there are sometimes where they have teams that don't play for 2 weeks. There's no international break. There's no Premier League. There's no FA Cup. It's just like 2 weeks of them not playing, and then 3 games in a week. So it does lead to injury, and now Liverpool was always, for the last 4 seasons, we've been a injury riddled club. Every time we try to contest for something, some important player gets injured, and then now City are starting to feel it. Arsenal are starting to feel it. West Ham has always been feeling it because they've always had players missing. Even Spurs, they've always had players missing, and now it's affecting a lot of the teams in the league.
So like I get you. But let's move on to the Premier League.
Corey McNeil, he can hit them from here. He does, and it's 2-0.
I only want to talk about. We can only talk about 2 games in the relegation fight. So in the same sense, the 2 games are both of our teams, because it does pertain to the title race. So you guys won 2-0, we won 3-1. It's more of a staple to make a comeback after both of us dropping points last week.
Yeah. Okay, I am not sure about the Liverpool game because I saw that I think Trent scored that. Like that free kick. Man, that was crazy, man. Oh my man, like that was crazy. Like I saw him score that. Then I saw Fulham score at like halftime, right? Then I was like, are Liverpool going to drop points? No, yet again, because I know that you guys just could not score. Like I know that you guys just could not score, right? But then you did score. Then like for another one, then it was pretty much a comfortable win. Like if you were to look at it from the outside, but like when I asked you, there was inside the inside. Like how was it?
So obviously I didn't watch the game fully, and to look at it from the previous game, I think we played with the same, you can say with the same structure, but with better intensity. We looked more energized. Like the other games, we were mispassing. I think, no matter how many people say we didn't miss him or anything, I think Trent was a big miss. Because in the United game, the last 2 Atalanta games, the amount of times we lost possession because we missed pass was crazy, and a lot of chances were wasted in the front. And I cannot stress how much we missed Jota. The amount of space he creates by just making runs, and he scored again. He's the only Liverpool attacker from the front 5, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota, Nunez, Salah. He's the only one that has more goals than his expected goals, because he hasn't been second guessing himself. He's been clinical, and he has the confidence to say, you know what, if I shoot, it's going to end in the back of the net. Like that's what we're missing from Salah, because Salah hasn't been, ever since he went to AFCON and got that injury again. It's always when he goes to AFCON, he loses his confidence. Nunez has the confidence, he's just missing.
It does lag in the ability.
Oh, he doesn't lack the ability. He only lacks it when he's in the box. When he's outside of the box, then he has all of the ability in the world.
Yeah.
He becomes prime Ronaldinho mixed with prime outside the box. Inside the box, he becomes Nicholas Jackson. I feel like it should have been a routine win, and it was, in the sense it was at the end of the day. They did well, they responded well, and I felt like the players who played, they lived up to what they needed to. Gravenberg played. It was a refreshed side. Gravenberg played and Elliot played in the midfield. They both did really well, even though Elliot had the whole stadium booing him because he's a former Fulham player.
Yeah.
He handled the pressure well. Jota came, he did really well. People who've been slandering Gakpo, I don't want to hear it again. I've been defending Gakpo for a long time, but in the last 3 games, bar this game, the last 3 games he's been our best player. Where we drop points, he's been our best player. He had the most touches. He's turning the when he gets the ball in the attack, he's holding it well. He's making decent passes. He's turning them. He's driving forward, and he's doing it from a deep position. So he's allowing Jota to move forward and Diaz. The problem is, when the previous games, Salah, Nunez, and Diaz, when they had that, they were passing the ball and they were short passing and running. So they were underpassing the ball, and then when they are running, the other player is also running. There was no one to help link play. Everyone was just going forward, and no one had the ball. So that's where now at least they can do it now with the addition of Trent, because McAllister can't do it by himself. So Bosley, I don't see him as a player to do it, because he's more like that box to box pressure player. He hasn't been like a number 10 like McAllister. He has been more like a number 8. Which I've enjoyed, and a lot of people can slander him, but I enjoyed watching because it's important. Not all the time you need players to go and score. You just need them to apply pressure. But enough about Liverpool. What do you think about the Arsenal game? I did watch it as well, and I did think for a moment of time you guys were not going to get it, because that 1-0 lead was very fragile until
right. So it wasn't what I think. That when Arsenal are at their when Arsenal, full of confidence, full of they are just in the groove, so they really play some of the most beautiful football that you will see, because I feel like in this game, right? So we had a lot of pressure, a lot of saying that we hadn't won our last 3 games, which was Bayern, Villa, and Bayern again, right? And we had things scored within the last 4 hours of football, right? So it's we're looking to be that perfect script for us, right? But I think that when Trossard scored, right,
what a goal! What a goal!
To be honest, you look at it, it doesn't look like clean, but it still goes in, and you can't really say
it slotted in the most top corner. That was one of the best miss hits I've seen this season.
So definitely you can miss it. Yeah, but to basically round up the game, right? Wolves had their chances, right? And I thought that they would score, but it just seems that our defense was just too good. Yet again, Saliba, Gabriel, Raya.
I actually thought Gabriel had a bad game, but just because you have that 105 million pound midfielder playing there,
man, Declan Rice.
I can't stress how much of an asset guys
Declan Rice, man, he's just a floor leveler. I mean, floor raiser, ceiling raiser, he just But
in my opinion, he's probably going to be one of the best
signings in Arsenal history.
No, okay, whoa. Calm down.
No, man, for 100 million. I think it's
something. the signing of the season in the Premier League. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's not jump the gun here.
Yes.
But looking
You
at the
forget that you guys
table,
had Bergkamp, you guys had Henry, you guys had Vieira. Sol Campbell came from Spurs and won the league for you guys
yeah.
at the Spurs stadium. So history is a bit early now. Let's talk about yeah. But then moving on from
Wait,
there.
I want to talk about the table real quick. Arsenal and Liverpool both on 74 points, but Arsenal has the better goal difference. And Arsenal is playing tonight. We are recording 23rd of April in the morning. So this is before the Arsenal game. And Liverpool are playing tomorrow. And the Man City are only playing on Thursday. So if Arsenal and Liverpool both win their games, they will have 2 games in hand ahead of Man City. Yes. So I think that it's better to have 2 games in hand. I mean, so I always thought it's better to always play first, right? Because
it has a mental edge above the opponent.
Yeah, we can feeling the effects of if if your team won, right? So you just won't really feel like that, right? But moving on to the relegation fights, 3 important games happened today. Brentford beat Luton 5-1, basically dimming their chances of staying up again. But they're only 1 point behind Forest, who lost 2-0 to Everton, which was a really big game for them. Right, so
in that sense, what do you think about Forest's statement? What do you think about the game? Do you think Forest were robbed? Because they are putting legal claims now on the PGMOL.
To be on this, right? Like a lot of those penalties should have been penalties, but at the end of the day, right? Right. So you still have to play well. So which they didn't, right? Everton was the better team on the day. So I watched the game, they were the ones that were really in control of the game. So I think you can't really say it is the refs fault when so when you yourself didn't really play all that well, Yeah. Then the last game, Burnley beat Sheffield United 4-1. Burnley are only 3 points behind Forest. Do you think they can stay up, Burnley?
In my opinion, no. From the quality they've been having this season, I really don't. I think they've been very poor, especially the fact that they walked through the title race last season. I don't feel like they have what it takes to stay in the league. So I see them going down.
Right. But I wanted to say, right, teams like Sheffield United, right, I think it's time we just ban them from coming up. If you are a Sheffield United fan, don't take it the wrong way. But I feel like they always they've only come up twice, and both times
they look like going down.
Yeah, man. So what's the point? Yeah,
I can see where you're going with it, and I can understand it. But then again, you need those bogey teams to come into the Premier League, because sometimes those teams come up, they will lose every single game. But it comes to the one important game, that one team that needs from them won't get from them. They'll end up losing. So I feel it. Yeah. These unorthodox teams that come up and just lose and lose and lose, they add a different element to it, because Speaking of relegation, the championship. Have you seen the table on the championship lately?
To be honest, I have not, but I have heard that it's crazy down there. Yeah, so what's going on down there?
So in the championship, we currently have how let me check. The title race is extremely tight.
Hmm.
Now Leicester on top of the log. They do have a game in
Yeah,
hand, but they have 91 points, and it's
yeah,
with 90 and Ipswich with 89. So it's
yeah.
really close title race, and
Hmm.
Leicester have a game in hand, but they have dropped points this season.
Hmm.
They dropped
Oh, yeah,
the
weren't they like 14 points ahead of everyone else one
at
one
one point.
stage?
Yes, exactly, and they dropped points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
That's
now,
crazy.
now you look at this and you think with the same elements of adding, you know, excitement to the Premier League. Now we haven't spoken about the excitement to the Championship, and the recent game, Leeds needed to win. If Leeds lost, then they probably would have handed Leicester the trophy, but they
Hmm.
didn't. They won 4-3. It was a
Damn, that's
good game,
crazy.
and it was good goals too. It wasn't like it was a simple game. I mean, uh, it was in no game in the Championship you can say is simple when all of the teams there are not they're all fighting for the spot to come back to the Premier League,
Hmm.
because when the teams come up, then you can see whether or not they're actually good, and two out of three teams are usually not good when they come back.
Hmm.
Usually sometimes all three are bad. But it's interesting, and it that's just the top three. Then how the championship works: fourth,
Yeah,
fifth, sixth, and seventh will fight for the last.
yeah, for like a playoff spot. I
No,
mean,
no, third,
in
third,
like in
fourth,
a
fifth, and sixth. Sorry, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So the first two teams would go. So
yeah.
after Leicester, Leeds, or Ipswich, two of
Hmm.
them go through, and then the other one will have to fight for the playoff spot. And
Bruh,
the points is still so close.
bruh,
It's
because
crazy.
because I am looking at the table now, right?
Yeah,
And and I was saying that Leicester has 91,
yeah.
Leeds has 890, Ipswich has 81 points. Man, like one of them are like gonna finish third place, and like then they might lose inside the what's the thing called? Is it the playoffs?
Go all the way to the last game. Yeah,
Bruh, so one of them might finish third. Then it's like when they have the same chance of like playing someone who like finished with Norwich has 72 points. Man, that just seems like
yeah.
very crazy. Man, that just seems very crazy to be honest.
It's gonna be a really close affair, and we're gonna have to like watch it up until the last.
Alright, anyways, let's move on back to probably the highlight of the week. The highlight of the week. Uh, tell me, Mayo, do you still care for El Clasico?
Yes and no. The thing is, I don't like watching Spanish football. No, I don't say I don't like watching Spanish football. I do like watching Spanish football. I don't get a chance to watch it often, but if I do, then I watch certain selected games. The thing is, I don't have respect for Madrid or Barca because of what they've done to like some of my favorite players, especially Madrid. One of my favorite players of all time is Raúl,
Mm.
and another one is Casillas. And the way Madrid forced him out of the club, I don't think I can forgive them as a club for it.
Mm.
And the amount of trauma they caused me as a Liverpool fan. I wouldn't watch the game, but
Mm.
when it's El Clasico, it's like Liverpool versus United. It's like Arsenal versus Chelsea. It's a game that you don't need a reason to watch it. You have to. You just have to
Yeah,
watch it.
that does have to watch.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's like if you hear a boxing match and Mike Tyson is in it.
Yeah,
It's like
you are like that
you
one.
could be fighting a plank for all we care. As long as you just have to watch it.
You just have to watch.
So I may not care for it, but I'm going to watch it anyway. And unfortunately, I think this weekend I completely forgot about it, but I was keeping tabs on it because I'm not gonna not pay attention to it.
Not pay attention.
And then I ended up seeing. Well, I thought it was gonna end 2-2, and Bellingham did it again.
Bellingham yet again. But no matter how many times, like, it is still crazy that he's only 20 years of age. Like, he's literally our age.
No,
and he's busy.
No. He's your age. He's younger than me.
he's literally my age, and yet he's scoring.
Winners in the El Clasico back to
twice,
back.
man, and I think the second time that he's done it, man.
But do you think Barca were robbed? Why wasn't VAR used in that game when it's used in the La Liga?
I think it's goal line technology, right? Because I heard that they don't use it in a league, right? Which is like stupid, because why you're not gonna use stuff that is used in the Premier League, the World Cup, the Champions League, everywhere, but you want to trust like you and I when I can't even see why that's going on inside that thing. Yeah.
And in that same sense, I was watching a Serie A game. I was watching Roma against, who was it? I can't remember who was it. They cleared the ball off the line. But if it wasn't for goal line technology, it wouldn't have been a goal. But the ball was fully off. It was in the net. There was like that much of gap.
Yeah.
No one gave it because they couldn't see it, but goal line technology gave it. So why is it not used in El Clasico? That's a bit.
Yeah,
it's a bit dumb.
Yeah, man. You usually have the biggest game of the season, and like not using simple goal line technology. Like, yeah.
It was Roma, and it wasn't. Oh, that game was today. It was Roma and I can't remember. Was it No. Who did Roma play? I was watching the game. Oh, it was Bologna.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, the ball was cleared off the line, but the ball went in the net. So.
But this win for Real Madrid, so there isn't much to say about the game itself, like what you call it, like what's the word? No. Yeah, so it's like just Real Madrid being Real Madrid and not beating Barca, who aren't as good as Real Madrid.
And this is Madrid's worst team in the last 10 years in terms of players on the team sheet. If you get it, half of these players, if you offer them to a Madrid team with Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema,
man, they would have laughed at your face.
None of them is gonna go in the team. Like, Cruz is old, Modric is old, but the fact that Madrid still beat Barca and they still won La Liga.
Again, bro.
And in my opinion, it's not what's his face, Ancelotti. It's not him. It's Madrid as a club. They have this.
So this aura on the ground.
This aura, this complex that they are better, and they have the they have the pride in them to prove it. You can if you get chosen as a Madrid player, it gets drilled into your mind that you are the best of the best. You can be anybody. Okay, not anybody. There's players like Mariano and stuff that. Vinicius Junior's first 2 seasons, he was washed. He was terrible. But then look at him now.
Yeah, look at him now, stepping up, telling Modric, out there that they're out at the penalty. Yeah, man. And one of the worst part is that this Real Madrid team are only going to get better. Like, they are only going to get better. Like, they are literally going to add what is the guy's name?
Enrique.
Yeah, next season. They literally want to get Mbappe. Man,
I
they just
think
want to
if
go
they can get
and
Mbappe, they can compete. I feel City are slowly declining because of the fact that,
slowly.
and I don't want to say it's it's Guardiola's tactics are washed or anything. I want to say that most of the experienced players are getting caught
Older.
out, and older and caught out, because now it's getting, although Bernardo Silva is still difficult to mark compared to previous seasons, it's getting much easier to mark him.
Yeah, and you also know that they are quote unquote they are quote unquote replacements, Grealish, Man City signed that guy from Wolves, and like not seen that guy play since.
Mateus Nunes, yeah.
Bro, why did they even buy that guy?
Like Kovacic as well. Kovacic has been underwhelming for City. He's been, I wouldn't say he's been poor, but he's been struggling. Yes, he scored in the previous game. He scored a cracker of a goal, but every time he does come on, he looks like he's getting bullied. It's not like when he was in Chelsea where he was the bully. He was on the ball. It feels like he's a little bit out of place. He's not the replacement they needed for Gundogan yet. Because Gundogan, he knew how to handle the midfield. And De Bruyne is De Bruyne. But if he's not going to get the support that works around him as well, then he can only do so much to help the team win. Because, in my opinion, De Bruyne is one of the best players we've seen enter the Premier League in the last 10 years, if not the best. And I'm a Liverpool fan where Salah in the team, and I still say De Bruyne is one of the best players. Like Salah has been there, 10, 20 goals every season. But De Bruyne, even in his injury day, even in his bad season, is... It's like, although if you look at the slowly declining City team, you feel like, other teams, how are they still maintaining it? Like Madrid, they literally
they are literally just built different, and they're only gonna get better.
Like, if you look at the sense, compare Madrid and City. City have been signing more players. Madrid have been, in terms of names, in terms of on the team sheet, they've declined. But in terms of performance, they've stayed at the same level they have over the years. The only difference is last season they didn't win the La Liga.
Yeah, that's all.
They are going to win the La Liga.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. But Real Madrid now on 81 points, 11 points ahead of second place Barca. I think this title race is done. So Real Madrid are your Champions League winners. I mean, La Liga winners, but could probably be your Champions League winners as well. But talking about title races that are done. Yeah, let's move on. Syria.
Inter are champions. Inter win the derby. Inter win the Scudetto.
Inter won again.
Yeah, Inter won again.
When Conte came in, he turned the team around, and it doesn't look like they've been slipping from then.
Yeah, all the seasons ago when Juve was just dominating.
They were the Bayern of the league.
Bro, just dominating. Now you can see, so teams are Liga really, stepping up, Napoli's, though they've really fallen off this season.
I mean, look at the last four titles in Serie A. This one is Inter's.
Yeah, Napoli.
This is Inter's.
Bruh. Yeah, I think there is an argument.
Multi be the chef with these utensils. Homeboy got skills of your credentials.
Then Serie A is a more competitive league than the Premier League. Because
even the point difference now, you think, is it really?
No, I mean,
it is, but it is.
But they have to look at the past title winners right now. City might win their fourth title this year. Basically, in a row, meaning that
the only team to win it in the last 7 years was us, and then we won it once. Every
Yeah.
other one was just legit.
Yeah, so you like you guys won't say that so like the PL is now that's a farmers league basically. So, yeah, but I do think there's a point to be made that the Serie A has really like been improving as a league over the past few years, you know, and Inter are now they are now the Liga champions,
Yeah.
beating their arch rivals.
And imagine winning the league
Against your arch rivals. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
What's another crazy thing is that there were 3 red cards in the game. It was a proper derby.
Proper derby match.
Yeah, it was crazy, and 2 of them came to. All three of them came in the 90th minute. You know that. Dumfries, Theo Hernandez in the 9th. Both of them got sent off in the 93rd, and then Calabria in the 97th.
Like this is proper football heritage, right?
This
That's crazy. Alright, but that's all I want to talk about. So yeah. Yes. So this has been the OnlyFans. Don't forget to like and share with your friends. Don't leave comments down below. Yeah. So peace.